Have you ever felt like you're losing your mind over someone? You're not alone. Today we're going to dive into the wild world of limerence and relationship OCD and a normal relationship. Trust me, the truth might shock you. This is something you guys have been asking for a long time. Here you go. Relationships can mess with our heads, right? I mean, one day we're on cloud 9, the next one you're freaking out over a text that was sent. It's like your brain's playing ping pong with your emotions. And let's be real, it's confusing. Relationships can be hard. But here's the thing, if we don't get a handle on our relationship anxiety, it can really mess us up. I'm talking like major stress, sleepless nights, and a ruined relationship. We don't want that. But don't worry, got your back, because by the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly what's going on in that head of yours. Plus, I'll give you some practical steps to take control. I want you to understand if you have relationship OCD, if maybe you're experiencing limerence, or if they're just normal relationship thoughts. Do you think you can spot the difference? I mean, so what's the deal with normal relationship thinking? I mean, it's not all rainbows and butterflies, but it's also not the constant roller coaster either. I mean, picture this. You and your partner are like two trees growing side by side. You're both individuals, you both support each other, you have your own thoughts, emotions. You've got some realistic expectations, mutual respect, and a healthy balance. There are doubts from time to time. Even if you've been married for 50 years, there's still doubts. But that's because life is changing, and we're changing with it. But you keep chugging along. But sometimes our brains want to take a detour. Limerence is when someone feels an intense crush or an obsession with another person, often imagining the perfect connection with them. It involves constantly thinking about that person, craving their attention, and feeling strong emotions based off of their reactions. It could be someone they haven't even met before. Often somebody where the relationship would likely not even be happening anyway. They think about this person all the time, maybe even when they don't want to. They're really wanting their attention or approval. Their emotions might be tied to how this person is feeling, how they're acting. Are they happy? Are they sad? They're struggling to focus on other things because they're so caught up about all the thoughts about them. Unlike healthy love, limerence is more about fantasy and obsession than a real balanced relationship. Often the person is fantasizing or thinking about someone that probably doesn't really actually want to be with them back. The chances of it happening are very slim. All these feelings and emotions can happen with a flash. Meeting somebody one time, seeing them on TV one time, one interaction, one smile they gave you. It can hit, boom, we have got that connection. You might find yourself constantly checking their social media, daydreaming about your future together, or feeling like your mood depends on every move they make. Sounds pretty exhausting. So let's talk about relationship OCD, or ROCD for short. This is where your brain goes into overdrive, but it's not in a fun way. Imagine you're watching a movie, but instead of enjoying the plot, you're fixated on every teeny flaw of that actor's performance. Like, you can't actually enjoy the movie because you can't stop thinking about it. I mean, that's ROCD. Makes you obsess over every little doubt or perceived flaw in your relationship or partner. You might constantly question if you're with the one or if you're making a huge mistake. I mean, talk about a mind trap. Maybe you've had this experience in different ways. I know for me personally, if I hear somebody talk, maybe I'm listening to a presentation and they use the word right after a lot of the sentences that they have, I get so caught up and just waiting for that next right that I'm not even paying attention to what they're saying. You know that this and this and this happens, right? I was like, why are you saying that word? It's not even that big of a deal, but I can get so caught up on just waiting for that next one, thinking about it. Are they going to say it again? When are they going to say it again? Do they know they're saying it? Does it bother anyone else but me? The brain can really play some tricks on us. Here's where it gets tricky. These thoughts can overlap and mess with our head. Let's break it down with some examples. Normal thinking. I wonder what my partner is up to today. I'll text them later. Limerence. I can't focus on anything because I'm constantly thinking about them. Why haven't they texted me back yet? ROCD. My partner didn't text me back immediately. Does that mean that they don't love me? Does that mean they're cheating on me? Does that mean I'm in the wrong relationship? Could I be happier with someone else that texts me back more often? You see the difference? Normal thoughts are pretty chill. Limerence is all about the highs and lows. And ROCD is about having pretty pessimistic lawyer in our brain, looking for problems, addressing those problems, but not actually addressing them. So how do you figure out which category you fall into? Here's a quick test. Are your relationship thoughts balanced and realistic? I mean, that's normal. Do you feel an intense, almost addiction-like focus on somebody? That could be limerence. Are you constantly doubting and seeking reassurance about your relationship, maybe to your own significant other or from other people? That might be ROCD. But here's the thing about limerence and ROCD. They look different on the surface, but they have some things in common. Both of these are mind traps that can seriously mess with your head when it comes to relationships. You just want to be happy. Think about it. Doesn't matter what you're dealing with, you're stuck in this loop of obsessive thinking. So with limerence, you're constantly thinking about your crush. ROCD, you're questioning the relationship. There's a quick way to look at it. Both of them can really push you into some really intense behaviors. Those usually are those compulsions. You might find yourself checking your phone every 2 minutes for that text, asking your partner for reassurance over and over and over again, looking at them in a specific way to see, do I feel that feeling those butterflies I need to be feeling? It's like your emotions are in the driver's seat. All logic has been kicked to the curb. For both of these specific conditions, self-esteem really plays a part in this as well. When you're dealing with limerence, your whole mood might depend on whether this person noticed you today. Like, your emotions, everything tied to that. With ROCD, you may feel worthless if you can't shake those doubts. Everyone else has figured out. What about me? Am I supposed to be happier with somebody else? Can I handle this thing forever? It's a roller coaster. It's not a fun ride. Somebody once told me that limerence is like being addicted to sugar. You're always chasing that next high, that rush of sweetness. And ROCD is more like being allergic to everything. You're constantly on edge, worried what might go wrong next. All right, Nate, I got it. I'm here for the treatment. Well, good. I'm glad you asked, because here we go. What if I told you the secret to overcoming these relationship thoughts isn't about fighting them, but actually leaning into them, kind of? Let's explore that treatment. For ROCD, we use something called exposure and response prevention, or ERP for short. It's like facing your fears head on, but in a controlled way. I know it sounds scary, but it works. It's about gradually exposing yourself to thoughts or situations that might trigger these feelings or these compulsive behaviors to want to ask for reassurance or whatever else you do. Here's how it works. You might make a list of all the fears, all the ones that make you nervous about the relationship, all the things that totally freak you out. These might be like sending a text, looking at a picture, a video, a TV show, sitting next to your significant other, having a specific thought about this person, looking at a picture of your ex, whatever starts making you doubt that relationship. We want to write all those things down. We start tackling them one by one. So if I'm checking my phone often, I might put it in airplane mode, and maybe I'll check it like once an hour. I'm gonna tolerate that uncomfortableness, and I'm gonna use a lot of responses like maybe, maybe not. I want the brain to know I'm not figuring this thing out anymore. There's got to be some really big red flags for there to be a problem. If I'm just questioning, will I be happy with this person? Nobody knows the future. Nobody knows how the relationship's going to go. People don't get married knowing they're going to get divorced, as far as I know, unless there's some like scheme working up. But if we knew, we would change things. So we live life for now. We do what we want to do now for the best of our ability and let the doubts be there. Let's say you're looking at a picture and it's triggering. You might question if you're with that right person or not. So we're going to look at this picture over and over and over and over. And it's actually teaching our brain to be uncertain. Like I said, we don't know the future. Maybe I'm saying phrases like, maybe I chose the wrong person. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'll never be able to handle this flaw about them. Maybe I will. Maybe I even agree with the threats to really take that power away. I'm totally going to be so miserable. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to be stuck with this for eternity. Woo-hoo-hoo. Really tells the brain, wait a second. Remember, you're supposed to figure this out. What are you doing? It's okay to question the relationship. But if you're feeling anxiety or distress about it and an urge to fix it right now, I gotta know the answer. Ooh, no. That's probably relationship OCD. More than just an inquisitive, I wonder if I'm with the right person. Because we can think that, cool. But it's not with anxiety. It's not with distress. It's not trying to know right now in this specific moment. So we're willing to take the risk and we're just gonna keep chugging along with the person that we're with. Unless there are those big red flags. But Nate, how can I tell what a red flag is or not? It's gonna be pretty darn obvious. This person goes to this church. This person has none of my beliefs and my morals and my values, and they're completely different and they don't want to have kids and I want to have kids. You see the difference there? You kind of know. I know it can be scary. I'm making it sound sound easy, but it's hard. It's hard. We got to take those risks. So then what about the treatment for limerence? Well, a lot of it is self-awareness. We track thoughts and emotions and feelings and all the compulsions the person does, like checking social media, reading texts, looking at pictures of them. I keep texting, I'm getting angry. I'm not getting immediate responses. My mood is tied to how they're feeling. Maybe I'm asking other people questions like, do you think this person would be with me? The idea is to address these thought patterns. We might identify the distorted thoughts related to it. And we also write down all the automatic thoughts you might have about this person. Often with limerence, there's an overestimating of importance in the relationship, like way above. The other person may not even know you exist. So some distortions are like, they're perfect for me. I'll never be happy without them. Wait a second. I actually have to challenge this thought. We use 10 unhelpful thinking errors. You can search that up if you need to find those. I'm going to identify that I'm jumping to conclusions about this. I'm emotional reasoning. My body feels like it's true, so it's tricking my brain to say it is. I'm catastrophizing. My life's gonna be over. Can I come up with some evidence to support this thought and maybe go against it? We're gonna spend a lot of time with that. If I had to prove it to Judge Judy, would I win this case? I'll never be happy without them. I went in my time machine. I went to the future. I saw that I was miserable. I came back and I just wanted to let you know. No. Unless you have a time machine you haven't told me about, I don't think that's true. So why are we acting like that thought in our head is true and has so much meaning, and we're doing a lot of actions based off of that truth when it's actually not true? That's the whole point of challenging. But then we got to start changing behavior. If I feel like I have to text this person, I might choose not to. I'm thinking about them and I'm ruminating. I'm choosing to challenge my thinking, using uncertainty as well. Maybe not. Maybe they are the perfect person for me. Maybe not. I could probably be happier with someone else. Maybe not. I don't know. Just like with our OCD, we often want to write down all those things that you're doing that are just interfering. Stop going to those places. Stop texting so much. Stop looking at their social media. Maybe go on dates with other people and it's going to feel uncomfortable and distressing, but we're going to retrain the brain. Somebody also uses behavioral activation. So with limerence, it often causes this person to neglect important areas of their life, such as hobbies, work, relationships. We're going to re-engage with those things. And we're going to do it with purpose. Man, I'm going to go to that movie. I'm going to go play D&D with my friends. I'm going to do all these things I stopped doing because I was just so consumed with these thoughts. I'm going to make it really meaningful to show that there's more to life than this person. Distress tolerance comes to mind. Can I sit with this uncomfortable feeling, use uncertainty statements, choose to live my life the way I want to live it, and know that my obsessions with this person will reduce over time? That's just what happens. If I don't give a thought power, I can't get rid of the thoughts, but if I don't give it power, it doesn't want to stick around. Since each person is different, someone who experiences this might have to work through some past trauma and some attachment issues with a trained professional, because often we see that connection. Oh man, that was a lot of treatment stuff, right? It's not about getting rid of the thoughts completely. It's about learning to live with the uncertainty and the distress. Be happy. Be the person you want to be. Take risks. The goal isn't to have zero doubts or never feel anxious. It's about being okay, just not knowing everything. Allowing yourself to be the boss. Change is totally possible. You got these tools now. I know they're very basic. If you need a little more help with your ROCD, check out the Master Your OCD course. I've got that online, step by step, exactly what to do. 40-something videos. It's like GPS for your ROCD, just saying. If you want to level up your skills even more, click on the screen. We got a deep dive into ROCD here. Your future self will thank you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Are your relationship thoughts